J-T-A-L. While I'm sitting here.
So Will Smith has finally broke his silence on why he did what he did. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the story, see what he's talking about. But before I do that, make sure y'all subscribe. Let's go ahead and get started.
Why didn't you apologize to Chris in your acceptance speech? I was fogged out by that point. It's all fuzzy. I've reached out to Chris, and the message that came back is that he's not ready to talk, and when he is, he will reach out.
Now, mind you, this has been about 5 months now since it had happened. You know, it was in late February at the Oscars. So I've heard that before that Chris said that, you know what I mean? So I guess he's confirming that it's true that Chris actually is in a place right now. He's still not ready to talk to him, and it's just embarrassment that he got to live down. But at the same time, people have been showing respect to Chris, you know, overall saying that, you know, Will was wrong.
So I will say to you, Chris, I apologize to you. My behavior was unacceptable, and I'm here whenever you're ready to talk. I want to apologize to Chris's mother. I saw an interview that Chris's mother did, and you know, that was one of the things about that moment. I just didn't realize, and you know, I wasn't thinking, but how many people got hurt in that moment. So I want to apologize to Chris's mother. I want to apologize.
And just to let y'all know what's going on, Will decided to sit down and answer some questions. So that's what he's doing. Y'all please excuse the fact that I just, you know, put up a thumbnail because, you know, YouTube be kind of funny about certain things, and you know, people can go ahead and be like, hey, that's my video and all that. So I'm just doing the audio respectfully, fair use. But at the same time, you know, what he said is something that a lot of us don't think about in the heat of the moment when we just think irrationally and just go for it. You're not thinking about his mom's, and also he's going to bring up the fact that he was also good friends with his brother as well.
To Chris's family, specifically Tony Rock, you know, we had a great relationship. You know, Tony Rock was my man, and this is probably irreparable. I spent the last 3 months replaying and understanding the nuances and the complexities of what happened in that moment. And I'm not going to try to unpack all of that right now, but I can say to all of you, there is no part of me that thinks that was the right way to behave in that moment. There's no part of me that thinks that's the optimal way to handle a feeling of disrespect or insults.
And real quick, I want y'all to leave this in the comment section for me. What do y'all think about that, as far as that being an insult? Like, was it really that bad what Chris said to Jada in that moment? Do you guys feel as though, or think that, you know, he took it too far? He seen the moment to go ahead and make a joke at Jada, and then he just took that moment. Do y'all really think it was insulting, or do you think that's just something that comics do? Or do you think about the history that Chris said what he said before in the previous Oscars some years back, and that, you know, he was being petty right then at that moment, and that Will actually acted because he thought that that was the right thing to do, even though he laughed at that joke?
After Jada rolled her eyes, did she tell you to do something? No. It's like, you know, I made a choice on my own, from my own experiences, from my history with Chris, Jada had nothing to do with it. I'm sorry, babe. I'm going to say sorry to my kids and my family for the heat that I brought on all of us.
Y'all hear that? He said Jada had nothing to do, or she didn't say anything about slapping Chris. She didn't tell him to do anything. He just seen her roll her eyes. Even though he was laughing at first, he could have just, put his hand on her, like, hey, baby, calm down. Or when he wanted to get up, she could have grabbed him and said, well, don't do that. Because I know brothers that when they ready to snap, they want to, no, don't do that. Don't do that. And I mean, we can't tell nobody how their relationship needs to be. We can suggest, give our opinions, but I'm not gonna front. No cap, no lie. A lot of people got their good reasons of why they felt that Jada is the reason why he did. Like, of course he said it. That's what he chose. But it's just being in that moment of punking out. He didn't want to do that, I guess.
To all my fellow nominees, this is a community. It's like I won because you voted for me, and it really breaks my heart to have stolen and tarnished your moment. I can still see Questlove's eyes. It happened on Questlove's award, and it's like I'm sorry really isn't sufficient. What would you say to the people who looked up to you before the slap, or people who expressed that you let them down? So there's two things. One, disappointing people is my central trauma. I hate when I let people down. So it hurts. It hurts me psychologically and emotionally to know I didn't live up to people's image and impression of me. And the work I'm trying to do is I am deeply remorseful. And I'm trying to be remorseful without being ashamed of myself, right? I'm human, and I made a mistake, and I'm trying not to think of myself as a piece of shit. So I would say to those people, I know it was confusing. I know it was shocking. But I promise you, I am deeply devoted and committed to putting light and love and joy into the world. And, if you hang on, I promise we'll be able to be friends again.
All right, so that's pretty much the video, the full apology audio. I want to see what y'all guys think. Me personally, hey, if it was that issue with people picking on him for all these years, him feeling like a punk, punking out, not doing things, for his mom, like he said in the book, stand up to his late father, God rest his soul, or people picking on him because he not Tupac. And he also said at the Breakfast Club that he was jealous of Tupac. Tupac was a sex symbol. Tupac was a megastar in his time. So yeah, he felt some way. And then him and Jada had a great relationship before even knowing Will. So a lot of those things can really tense up on a guy and mess with his whole psyche. But at the same time, this is why we try to tell guys, be careful about that. It's an ego check every day, like Pac say. You got to check your ego and do your best to put that aside. And I know it's difficult because people try to tell you certain things, but now we see a brother that's worth over $400 million and losing out on money now because in that moment he thought that was the best thing to do, and now he's regretting it And now he's got to fight to get back to the position that he worked so hard out of 20-something, 30 years to get to. And this is just a learning lesson for you guys to be careful, and especially when it comes to just a female. I know that's his wife. I respect the sanctity of marriage, but at the same time, on some real shit, when a woman does not deserve it, you have to be careful about being around those and in the company of those that will risk what you have just because they feel like they want to do stuff for themselves, like she said. Once again, this your boy JTL, opposite from the norm. Make sure y'all subscribe. If you want to go ahead, donate, show some love to the channel and all the work that we do. I got the Cash App in the description. Out from the north, 18, the number 18. I appreciate all y'all. Much love and respect. Every day we working over here. Believe that. Chill.